200,000 Mainers live with food insecurity, which means not having enough regular access to food to lead a healthy life. And this includes 60,000 children. In Maine, like the rest of the United States, the problem with hunger is not lack of access to calories, it's lack of access to healthy food. And that is why for the first time we have an entire generation of people who are overweight and malnourished. And for the first time, hunger and obesity are now two sides of the same coin.
Mainers Feeding Mainers started back in 2010. As we started looking at our donations that were coming in, we realized that we were receiving less on our donations. And the types of donations we were receiving was a lot of snacks and candy type food.
Good Shepherd Food Bank is committed to getting the most nutritious food possible for our clients. Historically, the food bank gets most of its food donations from retailers and manufacturers. And while a lot of the large agricultural companies out in the West Coast and the Southeast were providing wonderful donations of food, by the time the produce got to Maine, the transportation costs made it extremely expensive and the shelf life was greatly diminished. Our thought with Mainers Feeding Mainers was that if we could reduce the distance between the farm and the food bank, we could dramatically increase the quantity, the quality, and the shelf life of the produce while also bringing down the cost.
The funders that we work with, we take their grant money to purchase the produce, and then it is able to go out of our warehouses at no cost to any of our member agencies.
It's about understanding that there's a need for the food. The healthy food, the fresh food, the food from Maine, but it's also an understanding that the people who are producing these raw materials also need to have viable businesses. So it's a win-win.
It just makes a lot of sense that this food that we have in Maine get to the people who need it.
The Mainers Feeding Mainers program is creating business solutions to seemingly intractable social problems in some incredible ways. It's creating economic prosperity for our farms by contracting with them to grow food. It's creating a lifeline to that food for folks, and it's creating wealth and resilience in communities by supporting those farms and growing the farm sector overall.
With a guaranteed purchase from Good Shepherd, it allows us to have more predictability in the business, so it evens out some of the highs and lows during the growing season.
We're a guaranteed sale for them. The food bank doesn't care if the tomato isn't the right shade of red or if the carrots are perfectly straight. We'll take whatever they have. And if a certain crop fails, we'll take a different crop, because all that matters to us is that we get fresh produce for people in need.
Last year, we had contracted to grow quantity of apples, and we had a freeze here in May. We really lost almost a complete crop. So Good Shepherd switched it over so we could supply corn and tomatoes and some other crops in place of that. So that's a big benefit to the farm.
We rely on 3 distribution channels to get the produce out to people in need. The first is that the produce goes to one of our 3 warehouses throughout the state, and pantries can come to the warehouse to pick up the produce directly. The second is we use our mobile food pantry, where we load up the produce and we drive to a particular area and distribute the produce directly to families in need. And the last is that the food pantry can pick up the produce directly at the farm. The direct farm to pantry channel is especially helpful for our rural pantries, who sometimes are hours away from a Good Shepherd warehouse.
It's really satisfying to deliver that product and have some of the users of the Good Shepherd tell you how much they appreciate the food they're getting. It's a good feeling.
Our food pantry partners really benefit from this program. Not only do they get wonderful, healthy produce, but the extended shelf life that they get allows them to distribute the produce more widely to people in need that they serve.
My name is Sue Elsesser. I'm the food pantry coordinator at Midcoast Hunger Prevention Program. Our goal here is to serve people who are income eligible, who come to our food pantry because they're in need of food. By partnering with Mainers Feeding Mainers, we're able to provide local, nutritious food that has a much longer shelf life. Our clients have been so appreciative of being able to receive food that they might not ordinarily be able to afford themselves.
Fresh produce is a luxury for many families. We've had multiple times when our foodmobile pulls up and families see the fresh produce and it moves them to tears because it has been so long since they've been able to bite into a fresh apple.
So it feels good to be feeding neighbors, you know, and that's what the Maine is Feeding Maine program is all about. You know, who knows who may be hungry tomorrow, so if we can all kind of contribute to helping feed Maine people in whatever capacity, whether we're farmers or whether we're volunteers, it's a good thing to achieve.
None of this would have been possible without the support of the foundations and individuals who, like us, believe that no one should go hungry in Maine.